Hey folks, so Meta dropped a model called as Muse Spark yesterday. Now this is their flagship AI model and it comes over a year after this. Their last release was Llama 4, which was released on April 5, 2025, and over a year after we have finally got Muse Spark. Now the thing that most people were concerned about is that is Meta gaming the benchmarks again? This is what they did when Llama 4 was released, and people were very disappointed that Meta is gaming the benchmarks. Now what really happened back then was that when they released the model, they put out this blog post and they were like, hey, we have got they published this lengthy blog post, they showed the benchmarks, and what they were just trying to go for the sentiment is that their model is best in class, etc., etc. And if we just scroll back up to the takeaways section, then they had this last line in one of the takeaways, and the takeaways just has like five pointers, and this is what they really wanted us to know about the model. Okay, so right at the end it mentions that Llama 4 Maverick offers a best-in-class performance to cost ratio with an experimental chat version scoring an ELO of 1417 on LM Arena. Now what is LM Arena? Well, it is essentially they renamed themselves to Arena AI, and they were also known as LMSys, but this is essentially a platform to chat, compare and vote for the world's best AI models. So what you essentially do is that when you go to this website, you will get this prompt box. You enter your prompt and it will show you a couple of responses, and then you just label that, okay, this model performed better. So let's say if I type something like let's say hello, and yeah, okay, let's agree, then it will just show me outputs from two models, right? Assistant A, Assistant B, and then I can choose which one is better, and then I can say A is better, or both are good, both are bad, or B is better. Okay, so essentially you can just say that this one is better, or this one is not better. And what ended up happening is that 1417 rather was a really good score. And what caught most people off guard, like this person, is that LM4 on LMSys, and again the LMSys, LM Arena, Arena AI, all of them are the same thing. Llama 4 on LMSys is a totally different style than Llama 4 elsewhere, even if you use the recommended system prompt. I tried using various prompts myself. Meta did not do a specific deployment or system prompt just for LMSys, did they? That's what this guy was concerned about. And what most people were noticing is that the model on LM Arena or Arena AI, whatever you want to call it, was using more emojis. Now, if I will zoom into this image, you will see that this guy is looking for how to do push-ups. And in the response on I think this is the Llama 4 model. Yeah, the Llama 4 Maverick model. If you will see right here, then it seems that it is using a lot more emojis. And on Together AI, it seems to be performing without emojis. So that's what got most people off guard. Like, hey, why does the model on LM Arena have more emojis? And then an eagle-eye spotted observer noticed this, that LM Arena testing was conducted using Llama 4 Maverick optimized for conversationality. Now, this is what got most people off, and they were like, hey, why are you just gaming the benchmarks? Why didn't you just deploy the same model everywhere and let users know how the model is actually performing? Why are you sort of just gaming the benchmarks and publishing different models on different places so that you can score best? And yeah, that's what people were kind of feeling bad about. And what ended up happening is actually not what Meta should have done. So this guy back then was the Meta head of Gen AI, and what he ended up saying is that we have also heard claims that we trained on test sets. That's simply not true, and we would never do that. Our best understanding is that the variable quality people are seeing is due to needing to stabilize implementations. We believe that Llama 4 models are a significant advancement, and we are looking forward to working with the community to unlock their value. So this guy is saying that, hey, you need to stabilize your implementations. It's not an issue on our end. But cut to the chase, a year later, so again, this tweet was published on April 7, 2025. The model was released on, if we go back to the date, April 5. Okay, so cut to a year later, January 2nd, 2026. So Jan LeCun, Meta's outgoing chief AI scientist and one of the pioneers credited with laying the groundwork for modern AI, has acknowledged that the company's Llama 4 language models had its benchmark results manipulated before its April 2025 release. In an interview with the Financial Times, LeCun said the results were fudged a little bit and that the team used different models for different benchmarks to give better results. Llama 4 was widely criticized as a flop at launch, and the company faced accusations of gaming benchmarks to make the model appear more capable than it was. So that's what people were concerned about. That why that is Meta gaming the benchmarks again with Muse Spark. So if you will sort of this guy Alexander Wang, this guy is the new chief AI officer at Meta, and he even posted a thread on Twitter announcing that that today we are releasing Muse Spark, etc., etc. Now I will link everything down below. If you just look at this image, right, what are your thoughts up front? That this is a benchmark image, and since they have highlighted everything in blue, then it seems that Muse Spark is the best across all of these benchmarks, right? This is what your first thought would be. That's why they have highlighted everything in blue. But turns out it's actually not. When you color the benchmarks correctly, the model looks bad. And so if you color the benchmarks correctly, then Meta has the lead only in 3 benchmarks out of, I think, how many have they published? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So out of the 20 benchmarks, Meta is leading only in 3. And in comparison, if you will see, then Gemini 3.1 Pro seems to be doing much, much better. And if you will just go through the comments of this thread, this is what you will see, that people are just saying, hey, you should have labeled the benchmarks correctly. And I think they even had, and then this guy fixed it for you. So there were plenty of posts like these, right? That for those confused with the hard to read chart, etc., etc. So people were not feeling so optimistic about this model. And then there was this tweet as well. Let's go back to this one. And this guy said, the new model from Meta is already looking like a disappointment. Over optimized for public benchmark numbers at the detriment of everything else. Knowing how to evaluate models in a way that correlates with actual usefulness is a core competency for AI labs, and any new lab is unlikely to be successful without first figuring that out. Then Alexander Wang, again, this guy is the chief AI officer at Meta. He said that we are always open to feedback and welcome any perspective on weaknesses you have noticed in the model from using it. We are quite upfront that our model does not perform well on benchmarks like RKGI2, for example, and publish those results for the community to understand. That might reflect some areas of improvement of the model that we could focus on in the future. In general, we have been pleasantly surprised by users' feedback on the models in areas like visual coding, writing style, and reasoning queries. So he's saying that, we are quite transparent, and we are optimistic that this release will sit well with the community in general. Then I saw a couple of tweets, and this was the one that I could just find back. This one says that, okay, I tried generating 3 websites using Muse Spark. All 3 looked like this. So essentially, this doesn't look really good, right? It looks like garbage. And this is what this guy had to say. And then he even shared the prompt, right? That website creative for AI voice agent, clean, title this, animated premium feeling, use GSAP and make it clean, right? So this is the prompt that it gave, and then he even shared that this is what the website looked like, and then it turns out that he experimented with Muse Spark a bit more. I take my words back, it seems to be quite okay. So Muse Spark generated images for the website as well, right? So and again, guys, my bad. I think this was just a skill issue or coincidence. The model is fine. And then I think he even went on to praise the model. And then I think he says, definitely a skill issue. And then he was like, they definitely cooked. I think he put out something like that the Alexander, the Meta AI team did really well, and this model is very, good. So that's what he said. So this model, how it really turns out is something that remains to be seen. But if you are seeing posts like the benchmarks are gamed or anything like that, then yeah, they are kind of, I mean, they're not exactly gamed. Yes, the images can be a bit misleading, but the numbers aren't, right? They have they might have highlighted all those numbers just to attract attention to the scores that their Muse Spark model is giving. And of course, ideally they should have published like this, but of course you will give them the benefit of the doubt for publishing it like this, because of course they want to direct all the attention to their model rather than their competitors, right? So yeah, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, we will see how the model performs. Yes, they are definitely more transparent that their model is not doing well in certain benchmarks, and even in this image that they shared, the scores are pretty clear that they are admitting that their model is not the best. So I wouldn't say that Meta is cheating, right? They have put out a model, and of course it's accessible at I think at meta.ai. You can use it for free, and they will even drop an API later on. I think that's what they mentioned later on, is that everything is going to be released, and you can use it for free basically, right? So just go ahead, evaluate it, use it for your workflows, maybe in compare it to Claude, ChatGPT, anything else that you use, and see how it performs, right? If it meets your expectations, you can use it. If not, then you might as well ignore it, right? There will be a bunch of more AI models out there, even from Chinese labs. So yeah, there is a lot of things that you can choose from, but at the moment what it seems is that no, Meta is not cheating as such with their Muse Spark model. So yeah, people are that's what I just wanted to break down for you guys in this video, that no, they are not cheating as such. Yes, the images were a bit misleading, but I think that's all right. So yeah, that's what I have got for you guys in this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I will have all these things linked down below in the description for you guys to check it out and review it for yourself. And you know the drill, like, follow, subscribe, etc, etc. I keep making videos like these, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.